Well, folks, it is time for another auction preview. There's a local auction coming up on Monday. Today is Saturday. I just put the kids down for a nap and figured we'd go look through this stuff. It's only about 10 minutes from my house. The sales Monday morning. Local retirement or whatever guy had a few acres there. Small line of machinery. They're selling his combine, some hay equipment, grain trucks, tillage, small tillage equipment. He's actually keeping his tractors, but the other two tractors on the sale, from my understanding, are somebody else's, another local individual, and I do know those tractors or who those are coming from as well. So just kind of something to preview. But as far as the status of life and farming around here, I have planted all our irrigated acres, which is less than 5% of what we do in a year, and pretty much most of our dry land bottom ground as well. I've done corn and beans, just a little bit of both. I think I've probably not done 150 acres yet, honestly. But the moisture situation is absolutely dire currently. We have not had really, I think we're at like a little under 2 inches of moisture since the first of the year, and less than like 3 or 4 inches going clear back into October. So we're not good at all. I actually started the pivot running while I was still planting one of the irrigated fields. So things aren't good around here. And so actually I parked the planter yesterday or Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. And been working on the planter a little bit. I needed to add weight brackets to keep the wings down on no-till ground. And been working on getting that versatile ready to do some tillage this next week. Essentially, I'm going to sit in that for the rest of the week, and I think Dad's going to sit in his 8300 with 4.6 sweeps hooked on, and that's pretty much the gist of our plan currently. And we're going to wait for it to rain, essentially, or at least wait a little bit longer. Our insurance date on corn, like our last insurance date, is June 1, I believe, but we planted plenty of corn after that and actually yielded better than a lot of May planted corn multiple times. I think honestly when we get rolling again, we will do beans first. The bean insurance date is June 15th, I believe, but I would rather have beans in sooner rather than later, just to get them out of my hair. And the longer the beans have to grow around here, the better, in my opinion. And then Milo can come after all of that, essentially. But that's kind of where we sit. Not a good situation, but we're going to try to get some more farming video here once we actually seriously get rolling. I've only spent 2 days in a planter so far and really was still learning and didn't feel the need to bring you guys along yet for that. But we'll have footage once that versatile gets rolling here, I hope, and then a planting footage of the new white and planter, which have worked great. Honestly, pretty much the easiest thing I've ever taken to the field before as far as setup in the field and everything like that. All the ag leader stuff's working great together, and got it tuned up and figured out pretty easily and quickly, which is amazing, because I have struggled some years with our John Deere planters to make those work. And it's, even mechanical problems on that planter were none to speak of, I guess. I had a couple of the seed delivery tubes plugged on a couple rows, pretty minor. And yeah, I did have to add weight brackets to the wings on that planter to keep the wings in the ground, because there's no markers out there, so there's no weight out on the end of the wings on that planter. They don't have seed boxes either, so there's just absolutely no weight out on the end of that. So I took some Massey combine weights and a Massey combine weight bracket and fabric cobbled up something that going to work well, I believe. That's pretty much the gist of that. We're going to start tillage here shortly and go from there. And yeah, I don't even want to talk about the cow and pasture situation. That's even worse. But we're going to go look at this auction, and we'll be back Monday to bid on it. So the fun part about this auction is it's right next to the prison, the Norton Correctional Facility here, which is just east of Norton, which is, a weird thing. But yeah, you got barbed wire and fences. It's right here next to the prison here at Norton. Kind of funny, but that's just the nature of the beast. This was actually a tuberculosis sanitarium way back when for people with tuberculosis because we had a dry climate, and then it was a state mental hospital for a while, and well, now it's a prison. And pretty much grew up right here by it, so never really think much about it. And I mean, in my lifetime, I can think of maybe 2 escapes and a couple riots, so nothing real interesting. But the auction site's just right over here on the other side of the bridge, so we'll take a look. Now, farmer speak, I don't think they had much more than a quarter and 80 here. Could be wrong. So a lot of smaller machinery. I think the biggest tractor they had around was a 44 or 30, but they're keeping that, I believe. But just a smaller old line of machinery here selling. And there's a couple interesting things I'm after. It's also really close to home, so really easy for me to get it home, and that's why we're here. But yeah, there's some more prison facilities, house shop back there. But I'm just gonna start looking through this stuff here. This is kind of the stuff they kind of drug out of weed row. There's more elsewhere, but this is just a little John Deere rotary hoe, old one, pull type. I think you can swap the pins back to the other side if you want to pull it down the road backwards, if I remember correctly. Can't remember. Got a guy looking for one, so as long as everything here kind of acts like it wants to spin, yeah, probably. Well, I bid on a few pieces here. I think that so far haven't. That section might be a little tight. I don't know. We can always lift it up and throw it on a trailer. It's a little 4-wheel wagon, dump wagon. But really, I should look at this for the tractor club because we could really use another one of these for unshelled corn. Doesn't look too bad, actually. Old manure spreader we're not even going to look at. Looks very IH to me. You got your cultivator. I think that's a Dempster lister there, I believe. We'll catch this other row in a second. Yeah, Dempster lister, 4-row right there. I think that's 36-inch rows, which this is bottom ground here, sort of, so makes sense. Another lister, Buffalo 6-row, 30-inch slot planter. These were pretty popular locally back in the day. I don't know. I don't know much about them. Never used one that's still plate type. Probably only ever did Milo, considering the circumstances around here. Graham home chisel, another really common tillage tool around here. See a lot of them. There's your rod weeder to mount on the back of it. This is some very regional farm machinery. I'm sure some of you guys might not understand, but there you go. Little 4-row plow, or 4-bottom plow. Looks like it's a Ferguson. It says HF there on the back, so we're gonna assume it's a Ferguson 4-bottom plow. Then you got a little cattle chute. A couple sweeps here too. I think this one's a Noble by the looks of it, and the color of everything here, and the shanks here kind of tell me it's Noble. I think those are 4-footers, like 3 4s. Not very big. Yeah, 4. So I'm gonna go with that's 3-4 Noble, which is a small guy. Got a 1.524 sunflower out of the farm, but I've never seen a set of 3 4s. Then this, it's like 3.5 undercutter. I don't know what brand or sweep. Looks like it's an Arc Valley Incorporated, which is Dodge City, Kansas. So this was made in Dodge City, this sweep, which is quite interesting. And coulters on it. Kind of cool little thing. Blades are actually good if you needed them. The rocker shaft's really interesting. It uses U-joints in between the section. Guess you don't have to worry about adjusting your linkage, but you'd want to make sure you had it set right, and then I guess you flip the U-joints, allow you to flip the wings up. It's kind of an odd, cool piece if you're into made in Kansas tillage equipment like somebody else here I know, me. And it looks like they used to put anhydrous down with it at one point in time in its life. That's kind of a very cool, unique piece. Might have to bid on that myself, I'm sure. Won't cost much more than scrap. I don't know if there's anything else back here, we kind of walk through. There's, I don't know what's on sale and what isn't, but as you can see, Gleaner combine back there. Just what I need. It's part of a Milo guard sticking out of the ground. Should probably get that out of here for them. Yeah, I cleaned up a few things. Trailer, fuel tank. There's some scrap iron, sycamore land upside down right there. I don't know what here is selling, what isn't. We'll look. Just one of those old farmsteads. There's another tillage tool in the trees. I don't know what kind of wagon this is. I don't know. Looks like it came out of Indiana, is all I can read there. Four-wheel wagon. Used to probably be a hay wagon, I bet. Here's your farmhand bucket with push off. Don't need that too bad. Now we're actually getting over here into things that I sort of care about and want to bid on. Like I said, just a real small farm here. But first things first, I know a lot of people won't give a crap about this, but this is stuff I like. It's a New Holland stack liner, which I run a 1037 quite a bit. But this is a little New Holland 2M stack liner bale wagon, which is one of the very, very first New Holland pull type bale wagons. Actually, they had bought out the Harrow Bed company, and this was still kind of under their domain at that point in time. I think this thing just holds 36 bales. We actually have one of these at the farm, but ours does not have the sides. This does have the optional sides on it, and it has the optional jack as well. So kind of your little cool curiosity, but 36 bales. It'd hold 2 by 3, yeah, 2 wide, 3 high, and 6. So when you stack it and lay the stack down, it'd be 6 high, then 3 by 2. And you can tie together here on this table to get your stack held together. I've got the books on one of these too. So really cool old stack liner. Doesn't look like it'd take a ton to make it work. It's got the basic push-off feet, which I'm pretty sure ours at the farm has the push-off feet, but I need to look now that I think about it. But there's your little stack liner wording on there, but it's definitely been sitting in the trees and weeds for a while. But it looks like it's all here and complete. We could probably make a run at making her work. This looks like a little 8 bale homemade trailer. Kind of crude and interesting. Your typical 16-foot bumper hitch stock trailer. I think these things are everywhere in this part of the world. Big 12 grain cart. I think these held like 400 bushel. I can't remember. 24,000 pounds. So maybe more than that. Maybe 600. I don't know. Still, no, that'd be right. 600 bushel times 400, 24,000. Yeah. Just your pretty primitive old grain cart. And unfortunately, this is something I'm interested in. It seems like we just worked on a Gleaner G combine with Ryan and Mike. And the day I was working on this, buddy sent me a sale bill because it's just come up, this sale. But it's a Gleaner G, later one than the one Ryan got. 20-foot rigid platform on it, and it's a diesel, which is wonderful. The preferred way to have it in my book. Same motor, I think, and turbo is like a 190 XT or 200. Gleaner, I think this is like 71 or 72 model. If I remember correctly, it's just a gear drive, not a hydro, unfortunately. But looks, you know, all here pretty complete. Nothing too wild. And I got the same sort of things Ryan's had going on. There's your rattle up underneath there. Just doesn't look all that. I mean, that's a little loose, but that's whatever. Old combine things. New battery on it. Call up here. Yeah, there's your 301 turbo diesel, which at the end of the day still worth a little bit in parts to me. Single fuel tank here. Honestly, less room to work on this one than the one of Ryan's. I don't know why. Is the fuel tank bigger, maybe? I don't know. I think somebody told me it's got the extended shoe as well. think Ryan's shoe ends right there, and this one's got the longer extension on the shoe for better cleaning. Just a spreader, which is perfect. I don't like to deal with choppers on old combines. The auger here, if you look at it, also considerably longer than one on Ryan's combine, so better opportunity to get over a truck here with that one. Yeah, not too bad. Just another old Gleaner, nothing too wild over here. Return chain, not too terribly loose. That looks like it needs to tighten up a little bit. I mean, it's just an old combine. There's just not a ton that goes on here, but we can probably make a run at this. I have done worse so many times before. So I don't know what we're gonna do on this combine, but probably bid on it because it's close to home and it probably won't cost a lot, because there aren't gonna be a lot of people that are wanting to dick with it. Me, probably about it, unless somebody wants it for scrap or motor needs parts off of it, I would guess. Then you got little New Holland 276 baler. I can't remember what kind of New Holland baler we have back in the shed. It might actually be a 276. Looks like this one was sold new at Oaks and Otis, which is really cool. But not a bad looking baler. Hydraulic tension on the back. I know ours is just hand crank, which I kind of wish that. But then again, I haven't used that baler since I was in high school. So, meh, I guess. I thought he said there was welding on this thing somewhere, but not seeing too many scary things here. Oh, welding on the twine and needles. They've been brazed together. That's parts you can get. You get your 510 John Deere baler, which I don't even care about. And then a Heston 14-foot Hydra swing, which again, I don't know anybody that wants that. I think you got like a plow and some other random stuff back there that's irrelevant. Bale elevator could be a good buy if you needed it. Stock racks are a no. More stuff over here we need to go look at though. Here you can see some of the rest of the stuff that's on the sale. 3 grain trucks, 2 green tractors. 2 of these grain trucks go with this farm, and that one over there is another consigners, I believe. We'll catch grain trucks first. This one's just a GMC 6000, same as like a C60. Probably like a 366 under the hood, I'd bet. And man, pretty clean interior wise. 4 and 2 trans. I mean, darn clean. I bet that seat's been reupholstered. I think it's probably been inside as long as these guys have had it around here. Don't even know what year. 78 looks like. Omaha standard bed, which is pretty regular stuff around here. 920s. I don't care what's under the hood. I don't really need any more grain trucks. There's this F600. I was told they had to repaint the hood because it had a carburetor fire when they tried to get it running. So they got to repaint the hood on the poor thing. Looks like it came out of haze. Might have done the custom harvest run a couple times, which is cool. I think this one's a 330 V8, I was told. Another 4 and 2. Interior not quite as nice, but still pretty clean on this one. 16-foot Midwest bed. That one's a 16-footer too. Not bad looking. Don't need them though. This is another F600, F500. Not sure what kind of bed. Giant bed out of Council Bluffs. F600. I believe this one's probably, that door's locked. Looks like a 4 and 2, probably same 330 V8 under the hood. I mean, that's what the large majority are, so who really cares? Then these are consignor tractors. This one's a 320 diesel. Looks like it came out of Topeka, Caldwell's. Front ends braced up, bigger front rubber. 148 Deere loader, 15 or 16 934s on the back. Not bad. I believe it's a power shift. Yep, power shift. 5,900, 4,900 hours. I don't know. Should sell okay, I would think, around here, but you just don't know. It's not like it's a late side console or anything, so nothing real wild by any means. And you got a 4630. Looks like a 158 on it. Back end slid out wide, you can tell. Been 5 years since it was serviced. Looks like they just got done cleaning the cab out. Front end's narrow, back end's wide. Kind of cowboyish, cattlemanish. 1000 PTO, 3 remotes. Cab's not rusting out or anything terrible on it, but 4630s aren't exactly loved a lot. And I know this one, it's a later one by that door handle. Power shift as well. Cab's not bad, but needs a cab kit and a headliner. I think bucket doesn't look bad, but it's been worked on some, definitely. So I don't know, 4-tooth grapple, nothing wild there. 3-point blade or 2, mower, power forks. It's a little like 16 or 14 foot deer disc, pretty old one, 4-legged logo, but not a bad little disc. Turns. It's a pretty good commodity here. Looks like a 14 or 16 foot Miller. Should grab a tape measure and measure it. One C6, yeah. These are made just across the state line here. Well, not just across, but not that far away. But not a bad looking little Miller disc by anything. Large axle. Tires look fair, but not a bad disc. And like one little cleanup jobs. This is not a bad disc to own. No cylinder, so that's annoying, but part of it, I guess. And then Kent spring tooth, which we just bought recently. Don't need another one. It's a drag harrow on a Kent spring tooth frame, so I'm assuming those have been together most of their life. This sunflower, I don't even know what size it is, 15 footer. So judging by the red paint on the inside, you could kind of see right there, but that's an old girl, damn old girl. So yep, New Holland Machine Company, New Holland, Pennsylvania, number 55. Pretty early old New Holland Drake, I would say. I think that's the gist, unless there's some other small miscellaneous and trailers. I don't believe there's a lot here. So I guess that's kind of your auction preview. And oh, I guess I did miss something. This Case IH disc, or disc drill. It's got Scott tractor on it, which it's from Lubbock. So this came up out of Texas. 10-inch spacing. It's like a 5300 drill. Case IH 50, yeah. Packer wheels on the back. Just nothing wild about this little drill. He's got bricks over to keep mice out of it, which is but that's kind of the gist of what's here on that sale. So I guess we'll be back Monday and see how bidding goes and go from there. Essentially, not very exciting. Here's your lovely backside view. Leaving the prison, they got their baseball field down there. You know, nothing too wild. We toured that place back when I was in high school. It was interesting to walk through, to say the least. But yeah, just your typical prison in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, I guess. I don't know. Well, miraculously, since we last talked, it's auction day, by the way. We got an inch of rain. Not that you can even really tell. Yeah, things still aren't good, but it's definitely progress that was needed. But I'm currently in our IH Cargo Star water truck and taking water to the cows because our pond went dry there. So that's what we're doing this morning, hauling water to cows. I already checked the cows for new calves, and then we will go to this auction. It starts around 10, but pretty unexciting stuff. I've been doing this for a little over a week now, hauling water every day to the cows because the pond where we have them in the pasture went dry, and the solar panel, which We have that pasture on the well we have not used since 2012, 2010. It's been a while. Not currently operable. And really, truthfully, we should only have the cows in there another week or two, I believe, and then they will go to summer pasture, I guess. Even though I will still probably have to feed them, and definitely going to have to haul water to a couple of those pastures, but most all of them have ponds with a little water in them or wells as backup. I don't know if I've ever shared this thing, but it's just a IH Cargo Star truck. It's got a 9-liter V8 diesel in it. It's the successor to a DV550. It's an Allison transmission. It was a street sweeper truck, an Elgin street sweeper in the city of Topeka originally. So it's also right and left-hand drive, but pretty easy driving truck, and we just shove her in gear and go, air brakes and all, and it's pretty good for this gig. Pretty darn good. But that's pretty much the gist of that sort of stuff currently. We just water cows, still kind of feed them every other day. We don't have much grass coming in the pastures. This inch of rain we got Saturday night should help get some grass going, maybe, but it's a little late even for that. Just not a great situation currently. We're looking at culling some more cows and taking them to the sale before we take them to summer pasture too, just because we know we're short of grass. Not really short of feed. We've got quite a few bales and stuff on hand and some silage still, but feeding hay all summer is no way to stay sane either. But that's the gist. We're going back to the yard now, only half mile over there. It's pretty fun to drive though. I like cab overs. A lot of people hate them. I like to drive them. Well, we're doing some load out. I bought this rotary hoe. Hopefully I can sell it to somebody else that said they needed it. We'll see how that goes. Dewey's bed. Always handy. Made that process a lot easier. Only spent money on 3 things today, and one of them was the Gleaner G, of course. Cost me $1,000. But it is nicer than the one we got for Ryan. And diesel and long shoe, and just all good things. We'll have to come back here. It's kind of misting right now on and off. I hate to drive home with no windshield wipers. We'll get her fired up and headed home soon enough, I would say. Looking forward to it though. They fired it up today, and gauge separator and everything all sounded well to me. But I should check it over, see how oils and stuff are in it, probably before we head home. Looks like we're pretty darn full of diesel there. Don't know how it smells. It smells a little old, which isn't awesome. Probably get a fuel filter for it. And yeah, I'd say we're not quite full on diesel, but pretty close. Hydraulic oil, I did see I needed to add some of that. Now, I was curious if this was a combine with air conditioning. It's got the later cab. I honestly don't know if it's an AC combine, which would be nice. Nope, no air conditioning. Dang it. That's okay though. Pretty clean. Nice straight pipe. That'll sound really good. A little bit tighter up here than working on Ryan's combine. Where are you? Oh. Sorry guys, flipped you around there. I forgot what this extra belt is here. Oh no, that's my AC pump, and it's been converted to R134A already, so that is nice actually. So we might stand a chance of having an operable air conditioner on this. I don't know if that matters today. I bid on the Bell Wagon, but $400, a little much for it, and I already got one I need to work on. So, well, we're headed home in the G. Just kind of fired right up. We'd already checked the oil, antifreeze, greased the variable speed drive for the ground drive, and hop in and roll. The gist of it. Headed north out of the state prison ground here, and we got, I don't know, 8-ish miles home. I'm not at wide open throttle or full speed yet, but why get in a hurry? Got the prison employees out here on their smoke break. Typical. I'm gonna make a couple jogs around on this trip instead of taking the direct route back to the farm. Just mostly so I don't run into traffic. Because we are pushing a 20-foot head here, and I don't really want to be on the main road. We'll be on dirt for this trip. It is fairly loud in here, but that's old combines and road gear, I guess. It's a reflection upon my neighbors at all, but the wheat is pretty shit around here this year. Like, I don't think that's making 10, but and they're good farmers. Bad deal. We're on the home stretch in the last mile of this, at least, which is what needed to happen. The farm, that really tall tree there by the road, that's the farm up there, so we're about there. When we get there, pull in, drop the header down, lift the reel up, flip the auger out, engage it, see how everything sounds. Plus, I'm running a little warmer than I'd like. I need to let it sit, cool down, you might say. Yes, let's engage some stuff and see what it sounds like, right? What's it gonna hurt? Good. Walking. No weird noises over here. Sickle's a little squeaky. Real speed's working. Definitely cut wheat last. Pretty good. Pretty darn good. It's out now, so we'll see how that sounds. A little noisy, but not bad. Wobbly there on that pulley, but it's all turning like it's supposed to. Motor's pretty quiet. Looks pretty good. Nothing real interesting to report there. Be about it on this one. It's home. We'll see what we can do with it, use it more. I don't know, I'd like to sneak it to Garden City if I have time to cut some wheat with Ryan and make some bales. But who knows if we'll have any time for that. Big thanks again to the crew at 4C Auction. Cody, Robert, Rachel, everybody else who put that auction together. We got a couple good things bought. Really like the combine. There'll be hopefully more to come on it. Who knows, but you guys take care. I'm on all the social medias as @TeamOnTIH, website territorialtrading.com. You guys have a good one. Go drag something out of the weeds and get it running.